1. Lewis Capaldi's mental health struggles and comeback panic attack at Glastonbury. 2. Lewis Capaldi says unfinished Glastonbury set in 2023 was blessing in disguise. 3. Lewis Capaldi's mental health journey, from Onstage panic to empowerment. 1. Lewis Capaldi's mental health struggles and comeback panic attack at Glastonbury. Imagine facing your greatest fear on the biggest stage of your life, only to be brought to your knees by an invisible force. That's exactly what happened to Lewis Capaldi, the Scottish singer-songwriter, who bravely shared his harrowing experience with a mental episode that left him convulsing backstage during a concert. In a candid interview on Theo Von's This Past Weekend podcast, Capaldi opened up about the challenging moments in his career that pushed him to seek help for his mental health. The musician, known for hits like Someone You Loved, has been remarkably transparent about his struggles with mental health and Tourette syndrome, a condition characterized by involuntary movements and vocalizations. One particularly intense incident occurred in Chicago, just before his well-publicized difficulties at Glastonbury in 2023. "I couldn't come back on stage and finish the song," Capaldi told Von, recalling the event. "I was backstage, convulsing and having this crazy panic attack, mental episode. It was really, really bad. It was the first time people at my shows had seen it. But here's where it gets controversial. Some fans and critics might argue that such public displays of vulnerability can be a double-edged sword, potentially undermining an artist's image. However, Capaldi's openness has likely resonated with many who face similar challenges, making him a relatable figure in the music industry. The singer's mental health struggles became even more apparent during his Glastonbury performance, where he found it nearly impossible to complete his set. "When it happened and when it was happening, it was, like, the lowest moment of my life, and it was horrible," he recalled on the podcast. "I had this moment where I was on stage like 2-3 songs in. I was like, this is the last time I'm going to play a gig for a long time. I need to try and get through the rest of the show, but when I come off, I'm done." Capaldi's decision to step back from the spotlight and focus on his mental health was a turning point. He spent the next 2 years reconnecting with himself through therapy and exercise, which he credits for his remarkable recovery. And this is the part most people miss: recovery isn't just about feeling better. It's about taking active steps to address the root causes of one's struggles. In a powerful return, Capaldi surprised fans with a performance at Glastonbury in June, a year after his breakdown. "It was a bit of a comeback moment," he said, adding, "It was lovely. It was a really special moment." To further support mental health awareness, Capaldi announced that he would be donating 734,000 hours of free virtual therapy with BetterHelp, inspired by his own journey. What do you think about artists sharing their mental health struggles? Does it make them more relatable, or do you think there's a risk in being too vulnerable? Share your thoughts in the comments below. 2. Lewis Capaldi says unfinished Glastonbury set in 2023 was blessing in disguise. Sometimes, the most painful moments become the catalysts for profound transformation. Lewis Capaldi's 2023 Glastonbury Festival performance, a chaotic, unfinished set, ended up being a turning point he now calls a blessing in disguise. But here's where it gets controversial. What if the very thing that forced Capaldi to pause was exactly what his career, and his well-being, needed to thrive? Let's unpack this twist of fate. In a candid interview with YouTuber Theo Von, the Scottish singer revealed how his struggle with Tourette syndrome during the Glastonbury set led him to a life-altering decision. "I promised myself that would be the last time I'd play a gig for a long time," he admitted, adding that the experience finally pushed him to seek help. While those around him saw the incident as a disaster, Capaldi felt an unexpected sense of relief. "It was like a weight had been lifted," he said. "I had to confront this, and I couldn't ignore it anymore." Capaldi's battle wasn't new. Just weeks earlier, a similar episode in Chicago had left him convulsing backstage, overwhelmed by physical and emotional distress. That was even worse than Glastonbury, he recalled. I couldn't even finish the song. The Glastonbury stage, he admitted, was such a big moment that the pressure might have been too much to bear. And this is the part most people miss. His decision to step back wasn't just about health, it was a rebellion against the unsustainable pace he'd been keeping. Capaldi's post-Glastonbury break from touring was a shock to fans, but his surprise return last month to the festival's Pyramid stage proved he wasn't done yet. Performing his new single *Survive*, which later topped the UK charts, was a powerful statement. He even closed the set with *Someone You Loved*, the same song crowds helped him finish in 2023. It was the most important day of my life, he reflected. If that hadn't happened, I don't know where I'd be now. We were meant to go to Australia, and it could have been even worse. Tourette syndrome, a neurological condition marked by sudden, repetitive movements or sounds, has no cure, but can be managed with treatment, according to the NHS. Capaldi's openness about his experience adds a layer of authenticity to his music. With 6 UK #1 singles and 2 chart-topping albums, his career has been meteoric, but at what cost? Critics might argue that forcing oneself to push through is part of the artist's grind, while supporters would say Capaldi's break was a necessary act of self-preservation. So, what do you think? Was Glastonbury 2023 a wake-up call, or a blessing? Should artists prioritize their health over their careers, even if it means missing out on opportunities? We'd love to hear your take in the comments. Meanwhile, Capaldi's upcoming UK and Ireland tour, spanning London's O2, Cardiff's Utilita Arena, and Dublin's 3 Arena, promises a triumphant return. As he puts it, sometimes the universe intervenes to remind us, you can't do it all. You have to say no to say yes to what truly matters. 3. Lewis Capaldi's mental health journey, from onstage panic to empowerment. Lewis Capaldi opens up about a mental episode that caused him to convulse backstage. Lewis Capaldi is bravely sharing his experiences regarding mental health, shedding light on the challenges he has faced. The talented singer, known for his hit song Someone You Loved, has taken a significant break from his music career, a decision that stemmed from his struggles with Tourette syndrome. A pivotal moment that prompted him to step back occurred during a concert in Chicago, where he experienced a distressing mental episode. Reflecting on this moment during an episode of Theo Von's podcast, this past weekend, Capaldi recalled, "I couldn't come back on stage and finish the song. I was backstage convulsing and having this crazy panic attack." He described the experience as really, really bad, highlighting the severity of his mental health struggles. This wasn't an isolated incident. Capaldi faced a similar situation at the Glastonbury Festival earlier that year, where the audience rallied together to sing along and support him as he battled through his performance. "When it happened, it felt like the lowest moment of my life," the 28-year-old artist admitted. "It was horrible." Interestingly, amidst the chaos, Capaldi found a glimmer of relief. He expressed, "I had this feeling of, oh, everything's all right now, and I can actually go and get help and fix myself for the next 2 years." This realization marked the beginning of his hiatus from the public eye, a period that lasted until June, when he returned to the stage at Glastonbury. Looking back, Capaldi now views that moment of freezing onstage as the best thing that ever happened to me. He elaborated, stating, "I wouldn't have stopped otherwise. I had taken on way too much before my 2-year break. I had no choice but to confront my issues." Today, Capaldi reports being in a much better headspace. He shared his excitement about returning to Glastonbury, viewing it as a personal victory. "After these 2 years off, I really wanted to come back and finish the thing that I couldn't finish before," he said, emphasizing the importance of this moment for his mental health journey. As more celebrities begin to speak out about their mental health challenges, Capaldi's story serves as a reminder of the importance of addressing these issues openly. What are your thoughts on the pressures faced by artists in the public eye? Do you think more should be done to support their mental health? Share your opinions in the comments.